Our team's recorder is Cora Hicks, and our sideline assistants are Tiffany Thuling, Carrie Riesenberg, Mitch Fitzsimmons, Ben Vanami, Jack Van Erdwijk, and Trevor Philmeyer. I am very pleased to have the opportunity to debate the topic of there was an organized conspiracy to kill Malcolm X. An organized conspiracy, stated by John Worden, a doctor of the law, is when an assembly of two or more tyrannical individuals collectively go out of their way to commit an absurd crime, in our case, murder, that is harmful toward another person. The issue we are facing in today's debate is that there was not an organized conspiracy involved in the death of Malcolm X. It is proved in the court of law by the New York Supreme Court that Thomas Hagen and two others, Muhammad Abdul Aziz and Kahil Islam, were found guilty of murder. Aziz and Islam received 20 years to life in prison. Both have proclaimed their innocence to their defense lawyers. Hagen, who admitted he murdered Malcolm X, testified at the trial and subsequent parole hearings that both men were innocent. Thomas Hagen took all the blame upon himself, but his other two assistants in the murder were found guilty along with him. Aziz paroled in 1985, Islam was freed in 1987. In 2010, Hagen again stated 45 years after that Aziz and Islam were innocent. He states in a parole hearing with his officer in 2010, "I can't say that the Nation of Islam gave me the idea or constructed me to do it. I did it for myself. I felt the urge to kill Malcolm X because of his inflammatory comments about our nation's founder, Elijah Muhammad. It stemmed from a break-off of confusion in the leadership." Hagen received a master's degree in sociology while he was incarcerated that helped him deal with his actions 45 years prior. He states, "I now understand a lot better of the dynamics of movements, and I understand what can happen inside movements and conflicts that come up, but I have deep regrets about my actions. I can't really describe my remorse and remorse for my actions. Basically, a very young man, a very uneducated man, he was freed from prison on April 28, 2010. Thomas Hagen, then known by the name Talmadge X. Hayard, was in his early 20s and a radical member of the Nation of Islam. The day he entered the Audubon Ballroom, he was ready and armed to kill. His allegiance was to the nation's founder, and he was outraged when Malcolm X had broken off from his ranks. Hagen was a 22-year-old rank-and-file member, meaning an enlisted personnel of an armed force of the Nation of Islam, when Malcolm X split from the group and went public with his allegations that the leader, Elijah Muhammad, was fathering children out of wedlock. Nation of Islam's ministers responded with charges that Malcolm X was a lying hypocrite and was planning armed attacks against the group's members. Thomas Hagen, the only man who admitted his role in the 1965 assassination of the iconic African-American leader, Malcolm X. About 2 hours later, the police said the shooting had apparently been a result of a feud between followers of the Malcolm X and the members of the extremist group he had broke with the year prior, the African-American Muslims. The negative team has proved who killed Malcolm X by the court system, by laws of the United States of America. Thank you. Now I stand for questioning.